Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told Us podcast. I'm so glad you're here for another deep dive with us.
Always ready for a deep dive. You know me.
This one, I think you're going to find particularly interesting. We're going on an adventure into the life of someone you might think you know.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
Get ready to say, whoa, because we're talking about Keanu Reeves.
Whoa, indeed. Yeah, he's one of those figures who just seems to always be there. You know what I mean? Always in the cultural consciousness.
Exactly, and yet there's always more to discover. We're going to unearth the unexpected journey of Keanu Reeves, from his really kind of globe-trotting beginnings to those iconic roles and the man behind that internet-beloved persona.
I am so ready to unpack this. Where do we even begin? Not Hollywood, I'm guessing.
You would be right. Picture this. September 2nd, 1964. Not a sound stage in sight. Instead, we're in Beirut, Lebanon. That's where Keanu Charles Reeves entered the world.
Beirut, now that's a curveball right off the bat. It adds a whole new dimension to his story, doesn't it?
Right. And hold on, it gets even more interesting. His mom is English, and his dad, a mix of Hawaiian, Chinese, English, and Portuguese descent. Talk about an international heritage.
Wow, that's a melting pot. It makes you wonder how much that early exposure to different cultures influenced his career choices. He seems drawn to stories that bridge worlds, explore different philosophies.
Yeah, you think about Little Buddha, for example, or Man of Tai Chi. There's a curiosity about the world there that goes beyond just, picking roles. But hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves. What about his childhood? This is where things get a little bit rocky.
Rocky how?
Well, his parents split up when he was only 3 years old. His mom moved the family around a lot, first to Sydney, then New York, and finally they settled in Toronto.
So he's a citizen of the world, literally. It's fascinating how those early experiences can shape someone's adaptability and resilience.
Totally. But it wasn't all sunshine and roses. School was a struggle for him. Dealing with dyslexia, he even got expelled at one point.
Wow, really?
Shows you that even those who seem destined for greatness have their own hurdles to overcome.
It humanizes him, doesn't it? It reminds us that success isn't always a straight shot. Sometimes it's about finding your way through the detours.
And sometimes those detours lead you right to your passion. In Keanu's case, that detour led him to the ice rink.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was a total hockey fanatic. A star goalkeeper in school, even dreamed of playing for the Canadian Olympic team.
Hold on, Keanu Reeves, almost a professional hockey player. That's a parallel universe.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine the Matrix with a hockey stick instead of all that bullet time action? But seriously, an injury sidelined his athletic dreams, and that's when he started exploring acting.
It makes you wonder how different his life and maybe even pop culture would be if that injury hadn't happened.
That's a deep dive for another day. But it just goes to show that sometimes what seems like a setback can actually open the door to your true calling.
You got that right. So how did this hockey-living kid from Toronto end up on our screens? Did he jump straight into blockbusters? Not quite. His journey began in the humble world of Canadian television. Think teen dramas, after-school specials. He even did a Coca-Cola commercial. Gotta start somewhere, right?
Ah, the classic Canadian actor origin story. I bet those early roles are a treasure trove of vintage Keanu charm.
Definitely. But it was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure that really launched him into the spotlight. That role, pure, unadulterated, goofy goodness, it cemented his comedic timing and introduced the world to that unique Keanu energy.
Be excellent to each other. Man, that line still resonates today. It's almost like a philosophy he's embodied throughout his career, both on and off screen.
You know what? You're right. It's more than just a catchphrase. It's a reflection of his genuine kindness. But here's the thing. Even after the success of Bill and Ted, Keanu didn't want to be pigeonholed as the goofy guy. He wanted to show his range, his depth.
There's that drive again, always pushing himself beyond expectations. Yeah. So what did that look like in his career? What did he do?
Well, think My Own Private Idaho, for example. He starred alongside River Phoenix in this really critically acclaimed indie film.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a departure from the lightheartedness of Bill and Ted. It was raw, emotional, and it showed the world that Keanu was more than just a comedic presence.
A deliberate choice to challenge himself and defy those early typecasts. It takes a certain kind of confidence to step outside your comfort zone like that.
And that confidence led him straight into action hero territory. Get ready for Point Break, Surfing with Patrick Swayze, bringing that intensity. Then came Speed, hanging out of a bus, literally racing against time. Keanu became a bona fide action star.
He has a knack for those high-stakes roles, doesn't he? But it's never just about the explosions or the stunts. He brings a certain thoughtfulness, even vulnerability to those characters.
Exactly. He's not just a one-dimensional action figure. And here's where it gets interesting. He actually turned down Speed, too.
Really?
Imagine that. Walking away from a surefire blockbuster sequel.
That's a bold move, especially in Hollywood. Why on earth would he do that?
He felt the script wasn't up to par. Didn't want to be part of something he didn't believe in. It shows a real commitment to his craft, to the integrity of the project, even if it meant leaving money on the table.
That speaks volumes about his character. He's not just chasing fame or fortune, he's making deliberate choices aligned with his artistic vision.
And those choices led him to a role that would redefine science fiction and propel him to superstardom, The Matrix.
The Matrix. Neo, the leather-clad savior of humanity. That role is iconic. What did he do behind the scenes, though?
This is where his generosity really shines. He reportedly took pay cuts to ensure that certain co-stars could be brought on board. And get this. He gifted the entire stunt team with Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
Whoa, that's next-level generosity. It's not just about the grand gesture. It's about recognizing the hard work and dedication of everyone involved.
He's a team player in the truest sense. But his journey doesn't stop there. Remember we're talking about Keanu Reeves, the man who defies expectations at every turn.
I'm all ears. What other surprises does this guy have up his sleeve? All right, so we've seen Keanu, the action star, the comedic charmer, the guy who turns down blockbusters because of bad scripts. What about the man behind those roles? What's he like when the cameras aren't rolling?
This is where things get really interesting, because Keanu's story is about so much more than just box office hits and red carpets.
Yeah.
It's about resilience, compassion, a deep connection to the human experience.
That sounds almost philosophical, like a life lesson hiding within a Hollywood story.
It kind of is. You see, Keanu has faced some profound losses in his life.
Yeah.
The kind of tragedies that would make most people, retreat from the world.
Oh.
He lost his daughter Ava and then his partner Jennifer Syme in separate heartbreaking incidents.
Oh, wow. That's devastating. It puts his often reserved nature into a whole new light, doesn't it? Maybe it's not just shyness. Maybe it's a deep understanding of the fragility of life.
Exactly. And it seems like those experiences have shaped his outlook on life, fueled his desire to make a positive impact on the world.
So let's talk about that impact. His philanthropy often flies under the radar, doesn't it? It's not about flashy donations or red carpet photo ops.
He's incredibly generous, but he does it quietly without fanfare. He supports various charities, especially those focused on cancer research in children's hospitals. It's like he's channeling his pain into something constructive, trying to help others facing similar struggles.
It's a powerful way to honor the memory of loved ones while making a real difference in the world. But it's not just about the causes he supports, is it? There are stories about him being incredibly generous with film crews, even sharing his own earnings.
Oh, absolutely. During The Matrix, he reportedly renegotiated his contract, giving up a significant chunk of his back-end profits so they could afford a bigger budget for special effects and makeup. Talk about putting the art and the team before personal gain.
It shows a deep understanding of how movies are made, how it's a collaborative effort involving hundreds of talented people. He's not just the face on the poster, he's part of a larger creative family.
And he treats that family with respect and generosity. There are stories about him giving a crew member a $20,000 bonus to help with family issues, or buying Harley-Davidson motorcycles for the entire stunt team on The Matrix Reloaded.
Motorcycles for everyone. That's legendary. It goes beyond just being a nice guy. It's about fostering a sense of camaraderie, of appreciation for the hard work and risks that others take.
It creates a positive ripple effect, doesn't it? When the star of the film says that kind of tone, it elevates everyone involved. And maybe that's part of the reason he's earned the title of the internet's boyfriend.
It's more than just his good looks, though. Those are undeniable. There's something about his genuine kindness, his humility that resonates deeply with people.
He's constantly going viral for random acts of kindness, like sharing a sandwich with a homeless man or helping a stranger with a flat tire. It's like those moments capture the essence of who he is, the goodness that shines through.
It's a stark contrast to the often superficial world of celebrity. He reminds us that fame and fortune don't have to corrupt your soul. You can stay grounded, connected to the human experience.
And then there are those classic whoa moments, those glimpses into his quirky personality that just make you love him even more.
Remember the time a flight he was on got diverted due to bad weather, leaving everyone stranded in a small town?
Oh yeah, what did he do?
He hopped into a van with his fellow passengers, entertained them with fun facts about the town, even played some local country music on his phone. He turned a travel nightmare into an impromptu road trip adventure.
That's so Keanu. It's like he sees the humanity in every situation, the opportunity for connection, even in the midst of chaos.
And speaking of unexpected connections, didn't he crash a wedding once?
He did. A couple was getting married at a hotel where he was staying, and the groom, being a huge fan, jokingly invited him to the reception. You'd think a celebrity of his stature would politely decline.
I know, I wouldn't bet on a Hollywood A-lister showing up to a random wedding.
But Keanu, being Keanu, actually showed up. He chatted with the guests, took pictures with the happy couple, even shared a drink with them. It wasn't about the fame or the attention. It was about making their day a little brighter, a little more memorable.
It reinforces that idea of him being a regular guy who just happens to be in extraordinary films. He doesn't let the celebrity bubble isolate him from real life, from those genuine human interactions.
Exactly. And I think that's why he resonates so strongly with people. He embodies a kind of authenticity that's increasingly rare in our world. Speaking of authenticity, if you're loving this deep dive into the man behind the whoa, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future explorations into the lives of fascinating people.
I'm definitely subscribing. We've covered his career, his philanthropy, his unexpected charm. What else makes Keanu well? Keanu, is there more to uncover?
There's always more to uncover with this guy. Remember that passion for hockey we talked about earlier? Well, it turns out he never fully let go of that love for speed and adrenaline.
Is that where the motorcycles come in? I know he's a big motorcycle enthusiast.
He's more than just an enthusiast. He co-founded a motorcycle company called RCH Motorcycle Company. They design and build these ultra-high-end custom bikes. It's like a passion project that combines his love for engineering design with that need for speed.
It's like he's constantly challenging himself, exploring different creative outlets. And let's not forget about his band, Dogstar. He's not just posing with a guitar, he's actually a pretty solid bass player.
They even released a new album recently. From action hero to rock star. Is there anything this guy can't do? It really makes you wonder what other hidden talents he might have.
He's a true Renaissance man, defying the stereotypes of what a Hollywood star should be. But there's one more creative endeavor we haven't touched on yet. He's a published author.
Oh, that's right. He co-wrote a poetry book with his partner, Alexandra Grant. It's called Ode to Happiness, and it's a beautiful introspective exploration of the human condition.
So from blockbuster action to heartfelt poetry, he really does encompass a whole spectrum of creative expression. He's living proof that you don't have to fit into a box, that embracing your diverse passions can lead to a richer, more fulfilling life.
It's an inspiring message, isn't it? Especially in a world that often tries to categorize and limit us. Keanu shows us that it's okay to be multifaceted, to embrace the unexpected turns that life throws our way.
It's about finding your own moments. Those experiences that shake things up, challenge your perspective, and ultimately lead you closer to your true self.
So we've really journeyed through the many layers of Keanu Reeves. The action hero, the unexpected comedian, the philanthropist, the motorcycle enthusiast, even the poet, and the rock star.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride. He shattered so many, I think, preconceptions about what it means to be a celebrity, to live a meaningful life.
And he's done it all with this, quiet grace, this genuine kindness that seems to radiate outwards.
Yeah, he's a reminder that success doesn't have to come at the expense of your integrity or compassion. In fact, it seems like those very qualities have contributed to his kind of enduring appeal.
It's like he's redefining what it means to be a role model in the 21st century. You know what I mean? It's not about the perfect image or the carefully curated persona. It's about embracing your complexities, your vulnerabilities, and using your platform for good.
He's not afraid to show his flaws, his quirks. And maybe that's why he connects with people on such a deep level. He's relatable, even amidst the extraordinary circumstances of his life.
He's like a walking, talking reminder that it's okay to be different, to defy expectations, to follow your own path, even if it takes you on some unexpected detours.
And those detours, those whoa moments, are often the most defining experiences, the ones that shape us into the people we are meant to be.
Keanu's story isn't just about movies or motorcycles or music. It's about the power of human connection, the importance of kindness, and the unwavering pursuit of your passions, no matter how diverse they may be.
It's a reminder that even in the face of tragedy, even when life throws you curveballs, you can choose to find meaning, to create beauty, to leave the world a little brighter than you found it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think we're left with a question. What whoa moments will you create? What unexpected paths will you explore? What acts of kindness will you share with the world?
Yeah. Keanu's story is an invitation to embrace the unexpected, to find joy in the journey, and to never underestimate the impact of a kind gesture, a thoughtful word, a genuine connection.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure into the fascinating world of Keanu Reeves. We hope you've been inspired, entertained, and maybe even learned a thing or two along the way.
And remember, if you're looking for more stories that delve beneath the surface, that explore the hidden depths of our world and the people who inhabit it, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tell everyone you know to tell me more.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep saying whoa to the wonders of life.